Now that I had that diagnosis, I could start different therapies, medication treatments, and manage the symptoms and make sure that it doesn't spread. This is also when I realized I could go on the internet and research about different medications, therapies, treatments, and this is when I also can meet other people. At this point, I never personally met anybody in my life that was like me with the health issues that I had. I felt so alone and isolated for so many years because of this. And it was hard to make friends because I couldn't just go out and meet up with people. Everything was inconsistent because minute to minute, I didn't always know how my health issues would be. So I spent a lot of time at home with my animals, which were basically like my family support system. But online is now when I meet an entire new community nationwide and even worldwide, honestly. I deal with major health issues and incurable diseases. The online community has become a second family to me, which I'm forever thankful for. It's also when I decided and realized I love advocacy, advocating for other people. It's something I really needed and wanted because I needed to feel like I had a voice again because I didn't. I felt like I was just taking up space. And most important, I could help others with the decades of information that I learned that worked or didn't work for myself. It took me many years of trying different medications and therapies to figure out what worked best for me. And each patient is different. What may work for them, or what may work for me may not work for them. So, you have to try everything basically. And by the way, when I had my accidents and surgeries, doctors didn't immediately put me on pain medications. I started off like most, if not all patients, I went to doctors trying to figure out how to best manage the pain and the symptoms and return to the best quality of life one can under these circumstances. So to start my personal journey, I did physical therapy, walking, swimming. A definite must for me is that I have to keep moving no matter what, especially once the CRPS developed. My muscles in my arms just atrophy so quickly. So if I don't use a lightweight system regularly, my muscles just atrophy. I've tried different diets, like anti-inflammatory diets, supplements, TENS units, dry needling, acupuncture, massage, steroid injections, ketamine infusions, stem cell injections. I tried every type of medications from NSAIDs, muscle relaxers, over-the-counter antidepressants, anti-seizure meds, steroids, anti-nausea meds, pain medications, sleeping aids. Chronic pain from diseases like I have is so bad, it's limiting, and it limits a life's patient activities. For many of us, we become palliative care patients, which I was put on palliative care in 2017, which means there's no surgery or anything that can really fix the health issues. As my doctor said in 2017, this is the best I'm going to get, so it's really about managing the symptoms at that point to live a best quality of life. Although for me, the glue to everything else is pain medications. It allows me to sleep better, eat regularly, shower, cook meals, stretch daily, walk, swim, work out with weights. I can advocate for other patients and doctors. I can do hobbies like I love fishing and gardening. I have date nights with my boyfriend. I can visit and spend time with family and friends. So in my case, and after advocating for countless patients, without pain medication, there really would be no quality of life for me. And I've experienced being off pain meds and forced taper actually 2 different times. In 2017, my doctor forced tapered me off of pain medications, stating her hands were tied due to the 2016 CDC guidelines. Within a month off of all the medications, I developed POTS and tachycardia. Luckily, I was able to find a new doctor a few months later, but then in 2019, that pain doctor was forced to retire by the state medical board. They were investigating him due to improper patient note-taking and overprescribing. The doctor, by the way, came out of retirement just to care for 34 patients within North Carolina. He stated all 34 of us patients were the worst cases, dealing with many different incurable diseases. And when I lost him as a doctor, I had a month worth of medications that I had to spread out for about 2 or 3 months. And then after that, I developed seizures at that point once I was off of my med. It took me over a year to find a new pain management doctor. I called over 25 doctors pain management doctors with North Carolina, and all of them said that they either weren't taking new patients or that my case was too difficult. So finally, after a year, I lost my doctor. I found one in a neighboring state that would see me. I'm still under his care to this day. I drive 12 to 14 hours round trip every month to see him. He does monthly urine screens, pill counts. The 5 years I've been his patient, he's had 2 investigations by the state medical board. First was improper patient note-taking, which my doctor asked that I go to his hearing on behalf of National Pain Council to advocate for him if he needed me to, which I did. Thankfully, they found that he did nothing wrong. Then about 2 years ago, the state medical board did another investigation focusing on 3 of out-of-state patients. I was one of them. The board actually called me to ask me questions, which my doctor said it was okay that I speak with them. And thankfully, within a few months after that, they closed their investigation. Thank the Lord. If I lost my current pain management doctor and lost access to my medications, I fear what major health issue would I have next, and would I even survive it. I'm in contact daily with patients across the United States that have lost doctors and or their pain meds, and many are contemplating suicide. Last year, I had a friend, Jessica Massey, age 54. She had euthanasia because she didn't want to have to live a life of constant pain after her doctor stopped prescribing her pain medications. She became wheelchair bound once she was taken off her meds, and she told me she also didn't want to be a burden on her family. And that was like really hard. I became really depressed after she did that. I also had a friend a few years ago named Carla, and she was forced tapered off of her pain medications. Again, she was in her 50s, and within 2 weeks after being forced tapered, she had 5 heart attacks, the 5th killing her. And stories like mine and my friends that I mentioned that have passed away, I never heard of patients struggling like this prior to 2016 in the CDC guidelines. And the biggest thing we dealt with prior was like health issues themselves and finding doctors and the right medications and therapies and learning how to cope with our health issues. But since the 2016 and 2022 CDC guidelines on opioids came out, we have to fight just to have a doctor treat our symptoms and prescribe these medications and to be able to live the best quality of life. I call it the 1, 2, 3 strike. Patients seem to always be fighting with one or more of these issues. So one is if you could find a doctor to take you on as a patient, will they prescribe the medications you need or the levels that you need? 2, if you find a doctor to take you and prescribe medications, are you able to find a pharmacy that is comfortable filling these medications, or will they have them in stock even? I have many patients calling me nationwide right now stating that pharmacies are out of their pain medications, and some of them it could be months until they could get them in. So, and 3, if you're able to find a doctor and get a script, find a pharmacy, will your insurance cover your scripts and doctor appointments? And most of us are on SSDI, so we don't have the money to not be able to, we need everything covered if we can.